Welcome back to The Buzz. Great to have your company this evening. Don't forget you can join in by using hashtag The Buzz on Twitter. And if you want to win a double pass to come to West TV's 3rd birthday party, you've got to start tweeting straight away. We got any tweets so far, Paul?
Well, we do. Gareth says, I stopped tweeting to The Buzz. It's because of the Dasuba storm hit and took out my Wi-Fi. Is there room for a naked and drunk Vuvuzela player at this party? A nude conga line at the very least. Henry Beans is obsessed with nudity, I might add. Richard Bard says, I predict a half-assed storm and more we will rebuild garden chair memes. And look, we got a great picture through. It hasn't come up, sadly, on the iPad of a little kitten from Michael Gosney, and he's just chilling out watching The Buzz. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see that. Let's go back to camera 1.
There we go, yeah.
There we go.
Kid watching
that
The
cute?
Buzz.
And the reason that we can't show that on the screen is because that's a crappy Android phone.
Well, no, it's because it's not coming up on my Twitter feed on the Apple. Apple
Really?
is crap.
All right. Time for us to throw across to Aaron again, who's our replacement Candace this evening. You've got a couple of apps for us to see, and one of them I particularly like. This is the TED application.
There is, but before I go into it, guys, my mum's just sent through a text. She wants to talk to you later, Jason and Paul. Thanks for the word you inspired me to use before. Now, last week, the apps weren't mine. This week, I went and I spoke to some friends and asked what were the apps that they were using. Now, I don't know if you've heard it, but there's an app that I didn't hear of until this week called TED. And if you're short on time, or if you're studying at university, or you just want some inspiration, you get the TED app. And it's got thousands and thousands of motivational, inspiring, and even university professors doing their talks, actually talking to classes, and some really inspirational people like Bill Clinton. It's a great app to get if you're very limited on time or you want to get inspired. So you go in, choose Inspire Me. You can choose any of the subjects that you would want to look at. Let's choose Inspiring, and it asks you how much time you've got, which is great. So it's saying to you, we're going to match up the best talk, the one you want, with the time that you have left. And it's great. You get a lot of people to choose from. You get to go through. They add talks each week. So if you do watch and you are inspired and you keep watching, you can watch now, watch later.
Some big name players who do TED Talks as well, like Bill Gates, for example.
Yeah, well, he's on there. There's a lot of famous people and a lot of famous American motivational speakers. And there are also some Perth, what my partner tells me, there is some Perth lecturers as well that have made their way on there, I believe. Now, I haven't checked that because I'm not at uni anymore, but they are on. There are some very famous lecturers that you can get talks on if you go in and look at them. So it's a great app to get. I've looked at a few today and I've learned a lot in a short amount of time. They get straight to the point.
What's the bit of gold you've learned, Aaron? Share with us the best thing.
The best thing is be nice to everybody, including people lacking that are follically challenged, fellas.
I see where you're going with that. Now, you've got another app for us as well. This is a big change for The Buzz because this is related to sport. You've got a footy tipping application.
It is, like I said, that if you're at work and you've got everyone together, you know, in the olden days, you used to go, let's run a footy tipping competition, and someone had to keep the score, and you fill it in, you put it in. Well, I tell you what, everyone at my workplace, we use this app. It's called Footy Tipping. You can actually put your tips in online each week. It reminds you, it tells you how you're going. So what you actually do is you form your own workplace competition, and from there you can go through and you can tip who's going to win. As you can see behind me, there you go. So you can choose all your teams. It's as easy as saying, well, who would you back in Port Adelaide and Richmond? Of course. Port. You'd go to the Port.
Aaron, just a quick question. Does Tom Waterhouse pop up in this at all?
No, he doesn't. The poor guy's copping a really hard time, I think. I don't know why. I don't know. He's a very powerful man, Jason, so I don't want to nick with him.
Indeed.
Yeah, especially his mum. Now, mate, you know, last week I bought you the beautiful moving iPhone, or the smartphone they're bringing out soon.
Yeah, the one that curls up and gives you a bit of a pinch on the bum.
Well, we thought we'd take it a little bit further this week. Check this out.
You're so sweet. If you were a status update, I would most definitely like this.
You're so sweet. I'ma go around the corner, get some ice, mix it up, and refresh myself.
You're so sweet, you go to Brooklyn for my cheesecake. And you will go to Brooklyn for my cheesecake.
That was really kind of hot.
She does some great acting, actually. It's quite impressive.
It's all with the eyes,
She
isn't
does
it?
a lot with those eyes.
Just absolutely beautiful. All right, time for social media news. We're used to the idea of our photos being tagged on Facebook, but now it appears Instagram has joined in.
interesting discussion I had today, Jason, with a work colleague who was a little dismayed that Instagram was now allowing the tagging of pictures, because
Why?
previously it had just been where you'd post a picture and they would go up, you wouldn't know who they were kind of anonymous, and so even if they were drunk, your friends, for instance, wouldn't see drunk Jason pictures on an Instagram feed of someone else. But
now, of course,
now, of course, you can do that. They've introduced tagging on Instagram. Two things, though, to keep it. You can make it that you have to approve any tagging, and you can remove them. But it is a change, and it is bringing it into line more with, I guess, the pictures that you find on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I guess something to be aware of anyway, because it could potentially get you in a little bit of trouble.
Yes.
Now, YouTube have decided that they're going to implement channels. I guess that means a linear channel where you can just sit there and watch it. Unfortunately, they've also mentioned that you might have to pay for them.
Did you, when you saw this, Jason, I thought to myself, maybe this is the beginning of the end for YouTube, because we haven't had to pay for anything on YouTube. It's been a wonderful resource, given the odd bit of copyright pull downs that we've had. But it's been great because it's free. You can watch so many things from so many different avenues. But now it looks like they've gone, well, we're going to set up a few channels that you can pay to be part of. What are they going to put on those channels? What are they going to, I would imagine, take down?
Could they possibly commission their own drama like Netflix did with House of Cards? Could we have YouTube-only productions? Would you be willing to pay for that?
I hope so. If they go down that avenue, and if they even, and not just American stuff, if they bring it, if you can make a successful show of some sort exclusive to that channel, then that would be great, bringing money into the local arts, which, let's face it, we've spoken about, is coming from nowhere else.
Global television, basically, a single channel available right the way around the world.
However, YouTube kind of already does that. So you wonder, they're just looking to monetize this, and I just hope it doesn't either kill YouTube or take away some of that really good content, put that behind the paywall, and you're kind of left with cats on Roomba vacuum cleaners.
Dressed as a shark, chasing a duckling.
Yeah, entertaining though it is.
It's entertaining, isn't it? All right, moving right along. Twitter itself. Now, I spend a lot of time on Twitter. And it is, for me, a really great place to read about the latest news. But you've got a problem with that, Paul.
Well, not so much with reading the news on Twitter, but there seems to be a growing amount of articles, and I'm sure you've seen them, whether you go to news.com or many, many websites that are part of a newspaper masthead that are basically just tweets. Copy and pasted into an article.
Oh, you're saying the journos are basically cheating by just pulling it straight out of Twitter?
Just pulling tweets out and making tweets an article, and I don't really think that's news.
So tweets aren't news?
Well, no, I don't think...
But they could be.
I don't think a conglomerate of tweets is news. It's like writing a news article, the graffiti in Perth this week says, you know, suck my lovely big juicy fruit chewing gum. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you ended up there.
It's not news. It's just a picking of whatever's going on.
Have you heard that, journos? Don't be ripping off the Twitter to put on your website.
It's not news. Maybe if you found someone who was writing something and then wrote something about why they have that viewpoint, referred to the story as news, but certainly not just putting tweets together is a load of
All right,
humbug.
time for us to go back to Aaron and check in with him, because he's got an app to tell us about that perhaps is a little bit close to home for you, Aaron.
It's an app of the heart, fellas. I'm tearing up and getting emotional. Have you heard about Rego stickers?
Rego stickers?
Gone.
That's right.
Rego stickers are gone, aren't they?
Well, I've still got one, but yeah, they don't need one.
Well, the thing that Rego stickers used to do is remind you to pay your Rego. Well, now what you do is you go into the Zoom TV app. Now, you guys would have heard of Zoom TV, started here on West TV.
Who's the host of Zoom TV, Aaron?
It's a follically challenged, I can't even say the word, it's that insulting, but I'm going to go into the app because I can say that. So the Zoom TV app actually lets you watch the show, of course, but what it does for free is it lets you remember to pay your Rego, so you can set reminders. We'll email you, we'll even call you if you put in all your details, and remind you that your registration is due. But enough said about that, because I want to talk about other things again that are close to my heart. I want to talk about the West Coast Eagles. Do you guys love football?
When
Probably like most of the audience at home.
When my team's winning. which isn't often.
Okay. Well, I'm an Eagles fan through and through. Now the AFL have released apps on each of the teams, so you can get really close into exactly what your team's doing, where they're playing, how the players are going. You can get media feedback. You can get matches. You can get special offers. You can see the kicks and disposals and everything that a good football, I suppose, supporter wants to see. Players, you can get up close with them. It's a fantastic app. But
what's it called?
It is called the West Coast Eagles app.
And how much does it cost?
It's free.
Hey!
They're all free because I had to use my iPad mini this time. But I tell you what, guys, I like I like to blow shit up, so I thought we could blow it up together.
Blowing shit up, I reckon that's what the internet was invented for.
Strangely enough, that looks much like the Lego that my kids play with. It just kind of
Put it away!
Just quickly, on the app review we did last week with that plane thing, the free version doesn't give you all that information. Obviously, the paid version. Because I've got that free of download. Oh, hang on a minute.
Didn't have everything in it?
I can just see planes and nothing else.
There you go, because I paid for it, so that's the difference. All right, Op USA is trending. Why would that be?
Anonymous and various Islamist groups claim that they're going to take down 9 US government websites today, US time,
Big
including
meanies?
the Pentagon, National Security Agency, the FBI, the White House, 130 bank websites, including the Bank of America.
Is that the buggers there?
That's them there. The claim is, I guess, they're doing it because, I don't know, just to stir the United States. The Innocence of Muslims video that's been removed from YouTube basically has upset them because it targeted large American banks, and they're saying, well, the banks are obviously in bed with the American government, and so therefore they've removed freedom of speech. We're going to attack their websites. So there you go.
So if people wanted to join in?
Well, I guess, yeah, you could go and join Anonymous. How do you join Anonymous? I don't know, buy a stupid mask.
Oh, they're not that stupid. I think that's kind of cool.
I don't know. They need more creative masks. Get some different ones.
Now, Australia.
Yeah.
That's bringing Australia and America together. Well, I mean, we virtually are already anyway.
Yeah, we're the 51st state.
But there is a petition happening to say that we really should be a part of the United States.
Do you remember some time ago there was a petition put, you can do this on the White House's website, you can put petitions in electronically. There was one put in for the Americans to build their own Death Star.
Oh, I do remember that.
Now, if you get 100,000 people signing your petition within a 30-day period, then they have to address that at a government level because it's deemed important for the people. And so they obviously looked at it and said, no, it's not part of what the US wants to do, which is a shame because the Death Star would have been brilliant. But apparently blowing up planets isn't in America's agenda. I don't know why, it's only a matter of time. But now somebody's come along, put a petition up saying we want to merge America and Australia together. We're going to call it Australia. And they're just looking to get the 100,000 votes, and then it may go to the American Senate. And who knows? I'm sure
it's not going to happen. Is it?
Government will be very clean.
Shouldn't it? Because alphabetically, shouldn't it be Osmerica?
Well, that's what I agree wholeheartedly. Oh, the other one was Australia.
Right. But they all work for me.
So I would say go to a gun website and start looking up what you want.
One thing we don't have in Australia, which we would particularly love, is squirrels.
There at second base, he's not moving. Now he makes his way over to shortstop. And now he makes his way over to second base. And the runner at second base, Tyler Becker, nearly corrals the squirrel in his helmet. And now he's going after the squirrel, and he gets him in his helmet.
Right, we know who's actually won the double passes now.
Oh, have you done that already?
Thank you for tweeting through. Now, if you've used #TagTheBuzz like these two particular gentlemen did, Henry Beans, congratulations. And Gareth Williams, congratulations to you as well. Gentlemen, we're looking forward to having you at our 3rd birthday party. Are you going to be there, Cookie?
Well, now I know Henry Beans is going. I'm not so sure.
I'll try and be there as well. Henry Beans, what's his Twitter name? At Henry Beans? I know that Gareth Williams is at Not Gareth.
He's
so
at
if you'd
Not
like
Gareth.
to follow Gareth.
Henry Beans is at Henry Beans.
At Henry Beans
He
as
loves
well.
nudity, and if I was Candace, I'd be more concerned. But he's a great supporter.
A very
Well
big
done.
thank you to Zetagrid and to Luke for joining us this evening and letting us know about
Thank you to Aaron as well. Thank you once again,
Well,
mate.
Thank you,
I was going
guys.
to go there. Don't.
Thank you for the
wanted to
bad
make
word I was
sure.
going to say. Thank you for that.
Thank
Mum's
you,
already
Aaron. Look,
texted through.
We won't see you next week because Candace is going to be back, but it's
I've
been
been
great
sacked.
having you.
No, it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much
Superb
for
job.
just making me feel special.
And you can continue the conversation during the week with #TheBuzz on Twitter. A big thank you to Cookie and to Aaron and to everybody else. Good
Jason
night.
and the crew. And to